Something really big has happened in my fantasy role playing game campaign, and I suddenly find myself needing to run a mass combat. And not just any mass combat, but a mass combat in a city. Hey, Wargamers, welcome back. We are on turn 7 of the assault on Gaztelu Mugatik. And I just want to get started. Before we start turn 7, I want to go back. I do need to retcon one little thing. I was looking at the fatigue counters for the Darklings, and they already had 5. And so I'm going to rule that they would have been too exhausted to climb the walls. So they would have remained down below and not moved, and that would have actually removed all of their counters. So depending on what happens here, if the forces of law win the initiative, then the mercenaries here will be able to fire arrows at this unit of Darklings. So with that being said, we'll go ahead and roll for an ish. And they're 5s. And, the forces of chaos have the initiative. All right, so we will do our movements. And so at this point, now the Darklings will climb in. And now they'll get their fatigue counters. These bandits are going to stay put, so they will lose their fatigue counters. These are more undead. They don't get fatigue counters. And no one else here can move because they're piling up, getting ready to try to knock down that gate. Over here, we have the breach, and so what's going to happen is this unit of skeletons will come in there, and this unit of skeletons will come in here. 1, 2, and they're going to move to there. These Darklings are going to move into the residential zone, and there is a 3 and 6 chance they will encounter 1 to 6 civilian mobs, and it's a 5, so they will encounter mobs. Only 1. Here there's a 3 and 6 chance. Oops, it's a 6. So they will encounter a mob, and they'll get 5. Wow. And what's going to happen is these Darklings here are on top, and they're going to make a move, basically, and we're going to say that they're trying to find a way to get into the castle, so that's what they're doing this turn. And that's going to do it for the forces of chaos movement. The forces of law. Here, our units of guards are going to move into the tower. We're going to have quite a scrum. This unit will not be able to attack. This unit of mercenaries is at 4 fatigue, so they're going to stay put and remove their fatigue. All right, we're going to get some more civilians. We'll get 3 more civilians. We'll move into fight fires. Put one here. We'll put one here. And we'll put one here. And then these 2 will move into this area so they can fight the fire. And then inside the keep, the bandits here are going to move this way in order to protect the noblewoman. Okay, so that's going to do it for that. Now we're going to do the firefighting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we got 2 1s. What do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 8 fires there. So let's put out number 2 and number 6. Well, number 2 is this one. 3, 4, 5, 6 is this one. All right, and that is quite a fire right there. All right, so we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Expanding. We're going to go 2, 1, 4, 6, 4, 1. Let's see what happens here. All right, 1, 2, that's outside the keep. 1, that's outside the keep. 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That will push this guy out of the way. And now that mob might engage with the priest, but they don't know what he's doing. 6. That's going to be there. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 down there, and 1 there. So that is not going to affect any of those. Here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Fighting fires there. And we have 2 1s and a 2, so that's going to be 3. Will go away. 1, 2, 3. And those 2 will go to 5 and 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 6. All right. So that's our movement phase. The missile phase. We do not have a missile phase because they are in melee. So let's do the magic phase. Our enchanter. The enchanter is going to cast Dig once again on the Witch's Tower. And we were at +2, now we're at +3. And that'll be a 6, so we will get a breach. Now that's really exciting. Part of their goal was that they wanted to get into that Witch's Tower and see what kind of treasures might lie within. The other 2 casters don't have any targets really, so we'll let that go. And then it's going to be melee time. So, Over here, this unit of Darklings fight as light. The Town Guard and the Mercenaries defend as medium. Light versus medium is 1 die per 2, and the 6 will kill, so they'll get 2 dice. And the Mercenaries will be fighting back. They fight as medium. The Darklings defend as light. Medium versus light is 1 die per man, and they kill on a 5 or 6. So blue dice 5, red dice 6s. And no hits. But we do get fatigue. And now the Mercenaries are in trouble. Then the second unit here, they're going to be attacked because there are 4 tiles in that stack, so they'll again get 2. But now there are 4 stands of guards. The red needs a 5, the blue needs a 6. They each lose 1. And they'll get 2 more fatigue markers. Now this will be 5 for the guards. So they're going to be in trouble. And our last melee here will be, oh no, we still have these 2. Okay, so Darklings versus Civilians. Light versus light, 1 die per man. 4 red dice, 1 blue. And 1 kill, so they're going to be gone. The undead fight as light, light versus light. So we've got 5 versus 4. The blues, everybody needs a 6. There are no casualties, so they'll be locked in combat. Now, over here, I forgot to roll the morale because these 2 each lost 1. And we're just going to roll a straight. That's a 9. That's going to be too high for the Town Guard and the Mercenaries. And an 8 for the Darklings, whose morale is 6. So they are actually both going to break. So the Darklings will flee back 1 full move. We'll put them back here. And these 2 units of Town Guards will flee back out here. And that's the problem with these markers for fatigue. Alright. So now the last battle we have will be the undead there. 2, 4, 6 undead versus the Town Guards. Light versus medium. 1 dice per 2, so they'll get 3 dice. And then medium versus medium is 1. So that'll be 5 dice for the forces of law because the Castellan is there. And everyone needs 6s. There are no 6s. And so they will remain locked in combat. Well, that is very interesting. All right, so that's the end of turn 7. And, oh, I didn't do the attack on the gate there. As I mentioned at the end of the last video, the undead, we're going to change them with the battering ram. They're going to act as light horse against heavy horse. So they'll get 1 dice per 3 men, of which there are 5, and they'll get a 6. So that's really not going to change anything. They're just going to get 1 die. And they get a 4, so they are not able to knock down that gate. Wow. Okay. Turn 8. Initiative. The forces of law. All right, so these are going to move into the tower. These are going to stay put and rest to take off these fatigue markers. Likewise, fatigue marker there. And let us now roll for any more citizen mobs. We get 5 more citizen mobs to fight against the fires. So I don't have enough citizen mobs. I guess not. One of these has to be. Well, we'll use this one. We'll put that right here. All right, now we're going to fight the fires. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. So they are able to put out that fire altogether. Excellent. And here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. One, two, 3 of them will go out. So we'll take this one and these 2. So that leaves 4. 4, 2, 1, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's already a fire there. 1, 2. That's outside the wall. 1. There's already a fire there. 6. There's already a fire there. Okay, so no more fires. See, that was a very good firefighting turn for the forces of law. All right. Any more movement? They will move up there. Well, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, because that way they can get into the tower next time. All right, so that's all the movement for law. For chaos. These skeletons are going to move into the breach. And these Skarn will move up closer. And here, the bandits and the Skarn will move and be able to enter next turn. All right, now these Darklings are on the first level, and they are going to go and attack and do they're going to try to wreak some havoc. They're going to yeah, they're just going to wreak some havoc in the keep there. All right, missile phase. Missile. We do not have any missiles. These guys will move back up to the base of the tower. And then this, he will actually climb up here and rejoin his unit. And I'm just going to go ahead and add another fatigue counter for them. There's no missile fire. There is no magic this turn. So let's go to melee. The forces of the law get to go first. So we're going to have 4 dice of medium versus the Darklings. They'll hit on a 5 or 6. The Darklings will get 2 dice and hit on 6s. No hits. Wow. Okay. That's going to put the Darklings at 6, which will reduce their combat effectiveness. Likewise, the mercenaries are now at 6. And these fellas are at 5. So they're not actually going to be able to fight next turn. Or no, I'm sorry, they will fight, but they'll fight at reduced effectiveness. Because they're medium, they will now fight as light instead. Back over here, we get 5 dice for the forces of law. And light versus medium, we get 3 dice. 3 dice for the chaos. No hits. They're going to stay locked in combat. Wow, this is amazing. How very interesting. All right, our undead skeletons will try one more time to attack the front gate. They get a 2. And that is super, super strange. All right, we're going into turn 9. With 8 turns down, that's an hour and 20 minutes that have passed in terms of game time. And because there is a PC party in the keep portion of this right now, and the bandits are there, the Darklings are there, and there's an enormous battle going on at the breach portion of keep. I am going to rule that the mass combat portion of this area is going to stop. And what we'll do is on Thursday of this week, which I believe this video will come out on Thursday, so we'll restart the game. I will describe the situation to the player characters and let them decide. And as each turn goes on, I'll come over here and play out that turn while they are doing their thing. And that should give us a rather dynamic situation. And be really interesting because it'll be a hybrid sort of game with a mass combat going on at the same time, actually in the session. So looking forward to that. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you are paying attention for all 4 episodes of this mass combat. It certainly is much more interesting than I thought it would be. I shouldn't say that. I really thought there would be more bloodshed, and there hasn't been. So very, very interesting the way that being in the castle, I think, really affects the ebb and flow of the battle, because I've done some chainmail battles out in the open, and there's been a lot more carnage. But at the same time, there's also been a lot more dice. So there is that. But thank you once again. Be sure and go ahead and hit that subscribe button and take a gander at the Substack, because we will have a complete write-up on this battle on the Substack, and then on the blog we'll have a complete behind-the-scenes breakdown of how all this came together, and we'll tie everything up in a neat little package. Have a great night and keep on gaming.